Okay, guys, it is me, Lord Sci-Fi. Today we're going to be reading Chapter 4. It's not really chapters, but I call them chapters because these are just different parts of his journal talking about his life. And this is Chapter 4. The sun sets and it rises in the Obi Wan comic series. The storm has come. I can feel the temperature dropping. It won't be much of a decrease from nearly intolerable to merely sweltering, but it is a notable and odd sensation on this planet nonetheless. Snap. I know what that sound entails. I've repaired that evaporator more times than I can count. Fading power cells, weathered walls cracking from everything aging, including me. The pendulum swings again, and darkness returns. As the Clone Wars raged on, worse calamities befell the galaxy, though a supposed victory for the Republic. The entire planet of Atrakan was rendered inhospitable during a brutal attack. Millions died, and now, years in, we had reached our darkest hour yet. Perhaps a shining beacon amid the quietness of this period was my kinship with Anakin. We were perhaps the closest we'd ever been. We also spent long periods together in silence, endlessly reliving our battles, always working to purge the shrouds of shadow that threatened to fall across us. Then we were called away from the front lines for a task so secret no one would discuss its details with us, even over the most secure comm channels. It could rain. I would welcome it. Let the sky shed a few tears. How tired I am. We covered our sense of foreboding with the comfort of our rapport. Maybe you're just tired because you're getting older. You mean wiser? I think you mean wiser. Speaking of which, where's the wisdom in pulling us all the way back here when we're supposed to be reinforcing the blockade at Herdessa? Haven't you heard? They want you to go back to pod racing. The council thinks it's your true calling. Don't tempt me. But our comfort dissipated when we caught a sight of Admiral Yularen, and it was apparent that even he was suffering from the weight of the war. Generals Kenobi, Skywalker, come in. I'm glad you both can make it here. The Republic order us here, Admiral. We left many of our allies during a time of great need. I pray our divided attention is worth their trouble. I'm afraid it is. Sit. I have no official mission briefing for you. This is too sensitive, but the council chose you too because they feel you could be trusted most. What is it, Admiral? All this prelude. General Kenobi, do you remember Commander McKeedrig's from the Battle of Abrion Bridge? My chest tightened as if my heart had suddenly been wrapped in rope. A weight hung from it in my chest. Yes, of course. After Abrion, McKeedrig continues to serve with honor and distinction at Rylos Salukami, but shortly after the loss of the Temple of Edith on Deveron, he disappeared. We believe that he may have gone rogue. What do you mean, rogue? That was when I knew this was going to be even worse than I thought. Have you heard anything concerning this one? This spice trade corridor? No, something that bears the same name. Something worse. Rumors of an execution squad. Something that's been striking out attachments of clones operating for an unknown sector, ambushing them. It isn't aligned with the Separatists either. A handful of high-ranking members from various councils in the Confederacy have also been killed. Three months ago, an entire commerce guild hub on Mintuine was raided, its residents slaughtered. No real military target. The intent was only terroristic murder. We've had our suspicions of McKeedrick since he vanished at the namesake Deathwind trade corridor passes by his homeworld of Rune only strengthens the connection. But why is he killing? But why? Why is he killing indiscriminately? We can't be certain, but right now our best guess is that the war may have broken him in some irreparable way. Irreparable. That far gone, he was one of our own, a hero of the Republic. I admired Anakin in that moment. But I also remembered McKeedrick's eyes after the Battle of Abrion Bridge, how hollow they were. We may have finally found him. He and the Death Wind may have taken up a covert position on Ando along its swamplands. You must go there at once. This is unofficial. Wider knowledge of his war crimes could be damaging to the Republic among neutral and even loyal systems. Once we capture him, what's to be done with him? Some believe the most prudent course of action is for the target to be eliminated on sight. What? The Jedi may be dutiful soldiers, but we're not about to assassinate anyone. Easy, Anakin. If we just accept that this man is beyond saving, then what hope is there for a fractured republic once this war ends? Incredible. They pull us off the front lines to go off and murder someone. We're not going to murder anyone. Even if McKeedrick is lost, we will do everything we can to reach him, convince him to surrender. The Separatists believed that there was no hope for the Republic, so they chose war. They chose to kill. I refuse to operate in the same way. An ordered galaxy is a noble cause. Murder is not. I agree. But that doesn't mean we won't go into this situation and encounter the dangerous mind of Commander McKeedrick with our eyes open. Yes. Our eyes were open, but the fog of war remained thick, as did the bog mists in this remote corner of Ando. I once visited an unnaturally dark land with my master years ago, quite treacherous, another menacing killer in our midst. What happened? We found the light, all of us, even he who'd become lost. Was I trying to convince Anakin that a past victory could be repeated here, or myself? Master, look. Only effigies warnings to travelers. Right. Only effigies warning to travelers. Right, but what happened to the soldiers who wore that armor? I did not want to kill McKeedrick. I did not desire to kill anyone. I'd already seen more than my share of death. When I was a youngling, I suppressed the eventual that one day I could use my saber to cut down another life. Foolish denial on my part, obviously. But then Qui-Gon died before my eyes, and I cleaned him all too, and the war began. But even in those first few years when Anakin was still just a boy, I hoped against hope that he would never have to use his gifts in a way that took life. But he would have to countless times. By then, I had a familiarity with familiarity with death. Truthfully, I despised my level of comfort with it. What had McKeedrick's familiarity done with him? When we leave here, McKeedrick will be with us in binders, but alive. I hope you're right. But the cold of evil was already all around us, and then we reached the terminus of the river. The sign, sent there by the winds of death and all who feed its currents. Into the night I go. Jedi, noble virtue, liars, servants of the wind. We seek an audience with Commander McKeedrick. How does one seek when one is blinded by the hood of death? I served with him in the war at Abrion Bridge. Please tell him my name is Obi Wan Kenobi. This is Anakin Skywalker. A bridge to nowhere, a bridge to the abyss of the swamp. Sabers, give them no blades, only sharpened bones. Very well, Master, Master, Master. I can hand them over. For, follow. The outpost was built from the ruins of an ancient temple dating back a millennium. A few weathered runic markings that told me that this place had once belonged to the Sith. This would have been a dark side stronghold during the Jedi Sith War. Freeing McKeedrix's mind could prove even more difficult in a place like this. Wait here. Enter. General Kenobi, my old General Kenobi, my old compatriot. Welcome to the natural end of Alor. Commander McKeedrix, you will return with us to Coruscant. There you will answer for your crimes. Huh? What crimes? The lives you've taken, lives of the honorable, the innocent. No, boy. No, boy, I saved them all by showing them the truth. What truth? War is just a distraction, a hypocritical game that denies its own real goal, the goal of our entire existence, annihilation. We live to kill and die. Everything else we do is beside the point. I serve the one true master, death itself. McKeedrix, I know the horrors you've witnessed. I've seen them myself. No, Obi Wan, I finally found the light you claim to follow. It is a void and eventually pulling us all inside it. Clones are created to serve death. The Confederacy rips apart in the galaxy unwittingly in the service of death. Even you Jedi, your uncanny power. You call it the Force, but it is the death wind, the strength of the void itself. The sword was made from the bones of a clone trooper. Why lets such a prime agent of death rot and waste away? What was his name? Clones have no names, just numbers and letters of an assembly line. Ava served with us at Abraham Bridge. So did Cody. Tell us what use has death for a name. I don't have time for riddles. Names like McKeedrix, Obi Wan, Anakin, or Oron, Lieutenant Oron of Rune, who served alongside you for so long. Tell me what use has death for a sunrise. When the light falls on the Icunian peaks in the morning, catching the brands of gemstones just right. You know nothing of Oron or our home of Rune. A sunrise needs 30 parts to exist: the light of a star, the sky of a world, and a life to observe it. Nonsense! Sunrise and set without us. Planets orbit, stars burn and die as well. Ah, yes, but life gives the sunrise meaning, sees its beauty, cherishes its splendor, mourns its absence. I ask again, what use has death for a sunrise, or a name, or a home, or like Rune, or a friend like Oron? Master, I didn't mean to. It's all right, Anakin. You did nothing wrong. Don't hold it against me, boy. It merely seemed the quickest way back to the sunrise. He's home. Let us return to ours. The light will shine again once the storm passes. But for how long? We are done. The next one is called Ben, and that is the last one in this graphic novel. I'm pretty sure there's no more after this. And then there's an Obi Wan Kenobi one. It's basically about the Obi Wan Kenobi show. But this is called Obi Wan, and there's only 5. I've tried finding more of them online, but they don't sell more. I'm pretty sure there's only 5 only 5 of these comic books. And there's way more for the Obi Wan Kenobi show, which we'll read next after we read Revenge of the Sith and stuff like that. So yeah. I really liked how it showed Anakin, not meaning to kill him, but just save it, defending his master. He was gonna kill him, and it was the only, he didn't know. He did, and I really liked how Obi Wan wasn't fighting. He gave up his sabers, showed his Jedi, the fact that he's a Jedi, and he was going to do this. And I think that this book kind of helps show more of their missions during the Clone Wars. You know, there's this is the just a perfect book to read if you want to know more about Obi Wan. And I'm pretty sure after this it's done, and then there will be because after this it's called Ben. So I'm pretty sure they don't have any more for these Obi Wan comics. There's only 5. And I think this is perfect for I think it's perfect to just show more of Obi-Wan until he becomes Ben and he trains Luke, and it really just shows more, and I really liked seeing more of the Obi-Wan and Anakin, and it was made Obi-Wan more of an important character. And I have more Star Wars comics. I have Star Wars War of the Bounty Hunters Director's Cut is what this comic book is. I'm pretty sure it's the only one because there's no number beside it. There's only the other issues. Like I have Star Wars Obi-Wan, the first issue of the comic book. I want to get all of the comic books. There's only 5, so I want to get all of them. For Star Wars, I'm going to own all the graphic novels. I can read them and just own all the comics books. But I think that's going to be it for today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed. See you guys next video. Peace.